Hi everyone, welcome back to Blue Echo Games. Today, I'm going to complete one of my Shattered Moon armies by building a unit out of this World War I infantry kit and show you a simple painting technique that will take less than 60 minutes per model. It doesn't require any advanced tools like an airbrush, and it makes use of extensive dry brushing, so it should be good for those of us with trouble painting tiny details. At 100 subscribers, I'll upload an STL pack with everything you'll need for similar infantry conversions, so subscribe below and join our free Discord with the link in the description for useful wargaming resources. Like I do with all my new kits, I start by looking at the included options and plan how I want to equip this unit. I want to give them AX-8 scout rifles, so I need to add scopes to make them qualify as rifles. I also want to add larger and more visible bayonets to the rifles, so I can get full courtesy points at the end of each game for accurately displaying their weaponry to my opponent. I assemble the models according to the kit's instructions, prepping each set of bits from the sprue by cutting off any attachment point scars and scraping the blade perpendicular to mold lines before gluing the figure together with modeling cement. Before attaching the weapons, I superglue the scopes and blade attachments and let them cure on their own, then glue them into the hands of the models. Bayonets on true scale minis like these are often too thin to survive the wear and tear of wargaming, so I clip them short and use the 3D printed blades to add both strength and visual clarity. I want anyone looking at the tabletop to be able to identify that this unit has scoped rifles and pole arms from a distance. I like to highlight the model's undercoats with 2 stages of dry brushing. I do a pass on the entire model in gray, then a lighter pass with white. These highlights help us see details during painting and will affect the overall brightness of the colorful layers we'll apply later. For each large section, I take my color for that piece and create 2 subcolors, one darker and thinned with water, and another light version that isn't diluted. For the flowing pants, I take my sky blue army color and mix it with black paint and water as my thinned dark version, and use my paint as is for the lighter version. I take the dark version and paint it on the pants, letting it flow into the recesses and apply multiple layers until I have even coverage. After that, I take a small rounded brush and a little bit of my normal sky blue paint, wipe off most of it on paper, then lightly dry brush the lighter blue onto the raised portion of the pants. I make sure to use very light pressure to avoid putting paint in the deeper parts and build up the highlight over time with multiple light strokes. If done properly, we can get a fun, volumetric highlight without the need for precise brushwork. I repeat a similar process with the jacket, except the darker version of my green will be my olive green diluted with water, and the lighter version is my olive green mixed with white paint. I take time to do this for the hats and packs that they carry, and make sure to give my lieutenant model a unique hat color to clearly mark them as the leader and unit center point. Once the large sections are complete, I add detail by spot painting different pieces like the scope, bayonet, backpack, and accessories until each element has its own color to stand out. If the piece is physically isolated or elevated from the surrounding parts, I find that using my brush at a shallow angle helps to reduce mistakes. I wouldn't worry too much about tiny details. Minis like these will usually be viewed from a few feet away, and therefore the larger features matter most. Since I want to follow an easily repeatable process, the bases are done in a few simple steps. I spread PVA glue over the base, let it settle over the entire top surface, dip it in sand for 3 hours, then pull it out and let it dry overnight. Once dry, I use matte varnish to protect the mini and lock in the sand, then glue any plant or terrain bits as desired. I chose to dab some optional color on the sand for more contrast. Then I finish the base rims with thick black paint. This is my new unit, Spearhead. Each model took about 30 minutes to build, 60 minutes to paint, and 30 minutes to base, putting them at about 2 hours from sprue to tabletop. Remember to subscribe to this channel and join our Discord for free STL giveaways, Shattered Moon discussion, and wargaming fun. You can still comment "lore please" below for new stories within the world of Shattered Moon, and I'll upload new chapters every time we hit a comment milestone. If you're interested in building your own army and playing Shattered Moon, you can check out our website, blueechogames.com, for everything you need to build an army and play for free. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next week.